Today we're going to talk about this little guy. Oh, he's not so little. 7'3", medium heavy, fast tip. It's the Royal Legend, that's right. KastKing has made some pretty outstanding rods. 70 bucks. This thing is only 70 bucks. So what do I think of it? Well, it's pretty darn sweet. 24-ton carbon fiber blank. The all famous Fuji reel guides. EVA foam handle. It's got a reel seat that is exposed underneath. It's got a full graphite reel seat with a metal reel seat tighten knob, which is big because I've got a couple plastic ones that have broke. So I like to have a metal one here that's not going to bust on me. The guides are nice, as I said, Fuji, and they come with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 total on the 7'3", which is definitely adequate. This says it's a fast action, but I think it's a little bit more like a moderate fast, which I don't mind, because any of my moving baits, spinner baits, chatter baits, jerk baits, any of my moving baits that I'm working on, I want a moderate fast action. I don't want a real fast or extra fast where I'm going to pull the bait out of their mouth. I want to give them a little time. I want to be able to set the hook and then keep them loaded, keep that rod bent as I fight them back. Unlike something like a jig or a Texas rig, I can get away with an extra, extra fast or a fast rod because I want that extra sensitivity when I'm feeling the bottom and everything. And I have a big, huge backbone to be able to set that hook. So let's take a look at some of this. Let's take a look at this in action. Yeah, did I mention this reel also has a 1-year manufacturer's warranty, which is cool. So if the rod breaks for any sort of manufacturer defect, they will replace your rod. Now, on top of the 1-year manufacturer's warranty, they've also got in your first 12 months an owner ODA warranty. Let's say you shut this baby in a car door, you break the tip of it off. It's still covered under warranty. It will be replaced at a 50% discount. So yes, if you bust it, if it's within that first year, you can replace your rod for half the cost. $70 rod, you shut it in the car door, you're getting that rod for 35 bucks. Now, that's pretty cool. Not all companies will offer that on a rod. Some say, well, it's already low enough price, you can just buy another one if you do something like that. KastKing's got you covered. So I just want to show you the action of this rod. It says it's a fast, but again, I think it's more of a moderate fast. You can see it bends a little bit further than most fast action rods I have, I feel. But that's okay. I like that. Like I said, any moving bait that I'm using, I want it to have more of a moderate fast tip. A jerk bait, a chatter bait. That's what I prefer. I can load that fish on there and land them. I'm just going to work this jerk bait over here, see if we can get anything going, show you some catches on this baby. Shut my GoPro off. We just died. And I switched to the other side of the pond. Water is super clear with a bunch of grass. That means one thing for me. The old swimming jig. We got him. We got that guy with the old swim jig. There he is. Not big at all, but that is another fish to the total today. I think I'm up to 8, maybe 8, I think. See if we can grab a couple more. He came off this point just over here to my left. See if we can grab a couple more over here on the old swim jig. All right, almost left, but I didn't. Threw another cast, and on the swim jig, another fish. Another little fish. He's not big, but he is a fish on the swim jig. All right, say goodbye, little fella. There he goes. Go, 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 go. He went the wrong way. He's hiding under the tree here. Oh, get out of there. You don't want to go that way. Come on, get out of there. Come on, go this way. There he goes. Decided to hit another point on the other side, and look what's going on over here. This is actually the third one I've caught. I didn't have my GoPro on, but I have found a school of fish. They're not big, but they are feeding. Look at the gut on that little guy. Got a big old gut for being just a little fella. It's been this little single spot lipless It's the third one in a row over here. Let's see if we can get a few more. Again, not big, but he's a fish. Bye, little fella. And just like that, there we go. That's a good fish that hit it. Oh my goodness, what did we catch here? Oh, he's taking some drag. What did we catch right off that wood? All right, on the lipless. All right, try not to dog him too much. I think we might have a drum. It is. We caught a big old freshy drum on the lipless. Ooh, he's a good size one. Play him in. He's hooked pretty decent. All right, we got a picture of him. Let's get this big dog back. All right, big dog. He'll be all right. Get him revived here. In a S motion, as Kristen shows. There he goes. Swimming off. Now he's realizing he's free. Oh, what? All right, later, dude. Sweet. Heck yeah. That was awesome. 6.5 pound drum. What? On the lipless? I'll take that all day. It's not a bass. Of course, y'all know I'm a bass fisherman, but time of year, it's changing. We'll take whatever we can get. All right, right on. Just on that little spot lipless. That's all it was. Had my drag turned down just a little bit. Took a little bit of drag. When I'm working trebles like this, I don't want to pull them out of their mouth. And that worked out perfect. Heck yeah, it's working out perfect. So let's recap the features of this rod, and I'll give you my final thoughts after using it for just under a month. So if you like big butts, I cannot lie, this rod does not have a long butt on it. I am 6'1", and it comes about 1.5 inches shy of my bicep, which is what I like because when I am working it, I bought this primarily for spinners, chatters, swim jigs, those sorts of things. I can use the rod action and it's not going to get in the way of my arms or be uncomfortable to fish. So moving up from the butt, it does have the EVA grips, which I personally like. It's got the cool KastKing logo there, name. It has the carbon graphite reel seat, which is usually going to be lighter than, you know, an aluminum or some sort of metal. So I like it. It's very comfortable. It palms very well and sits very well. The trigger, I guess rod trigger, is not uncomfortable. Some of those kind of dig into my finger. This one's long enough that it fits my pinky well. On the bottom, it does have the exposed reel, exposed rod blank where the reel is going to fit there. So it will come in contact. Theoretically, you should be able to feel more bites and vibration when they come direct contact with each other. It's also got the rod blank exposed on the bottom where my pinky and ring finger are going to fit. So I like that as well. Moving up, it's got the metal, I would assume aluminum, reel screw cap, tension cap. Very, very important to me because I've broke a couple of those before, so I don't like the plastic ones. I like that that is metal or aluminum. Moving up, it's got the bait keeper that is not one of those little U keepers, which I hate because you have to take the soft plastic out, stick the hook through, and then when you're ready to follow up on a miss or something with a Senko or a Texas rig, you have to pull it out, get the bait ready, and then flip it in. I like these where you can just pull it off, flip it in, and go. Moving up, it's got the rod name. Now it does not mean you need to put the Royal Legend reel on this. It's just this series of rod. It does have the specs. So this is the 7.3 fast, medium heavy power, 10 to 20 pound line, 1/4 to 1 ounce lure. Been primarily throwing 3/8 and 1/2 ounce chatterbaits, spinnerbaits, swim jigs. I've been working 3/8 and 1/2 ounce jerk baits, and it is working awesome for all those. As I said earlier in the video, the action is more of a moderate fast, which is fine. I like that, especially for moving baits, because when I'm working that bait, you know, popping a swim jig or, you know, just slow rolling a chatterbait, when that fish hits it, I don't want to have a real stiff, extra fast rod where I'm just going to pull that bait out of its mouth. Unlike a jig, when I'm fishing a jig rod, I like a 7.3, 7.5, heavy, fast to extra fast, usually an extra fast, because when I'm working over rocks, I want to be able to pull that jig over. I don't want a real mushy feel when I'm trying to get over rocks. And when the fish eats the jig, I'm usually going to count 1 1,000, 2 1,000, so that fish can completely get it in its mouth before I set the hook. It's important because I'm not going to have the play of a moderate fast rod like this with the single hook still. So I want to make sure I get a good hook penetration on it, which is why you can get away with a fast to an extra fast rod, because you're making sure it fully eats the bait. On a rod like this where I'm throwing chatterbaits, swim jigs, it's a bait moving along and they grab it. So whenever they grab it, that's it. As soon as I usually use like a side set on that hook, I'm just pulling up all the slack. Usually that fish is going to turn away from me, and that's what's going to set the hook. So because I don't get a real good hard stiff hook set, I don't want a rod that's going to have, you know, an extra fast or a fast tip on it. I want something toward a moderate fast action rod like this, so I can keep that fish pinned the whole way back to the boat. As you move up, it does again have those Fuji line guides. And that is it. That is the rod. So I'm extremely happy thus far. I would highly recommend this rod. Great deal. It is extremely light at only $70. I honestly would picture this in a $100 plus rod category. I've got some of those other rods on the market that are right around the $100 price point. That seems to be usually the point where rods get kind of in that better section, you know, not just the kind of cheapy feeling rods, I guess, for a lack of better words. This definitely does not feel that way. It feels like a $100+ rod. So you are definitely getting your money's worth with this. I would highly recommend it. So until next time, guys, be responsible anglers. Get out there and keep casting. You can't catch the fish unless you're casting. So until next time, take care.